I want to bring in California State Senator Sasha Renee Perez, who represents Pasadena. Senator, your own family had to evacuate, so let me ask you first and foremost, how are you all doing?
You know, my family's safe, and that's what's most important right now. I think my cousin's home where he was staying, unfortunately, it's pretty unlikely that it is still there because it was at the entrance to the Eaton Canyon Trail. I think my family's homes that are located over in Sierra Madre should be okay. I haven't had an opportunity to go look and check, but this is really not a safe time for people to be going and checking on their homes. So, you know, we can't verify whether or not their belongings are okay, but, you know, they're safe, and that is what is important.
Talk to me about the conversations you're having with your constituents. You probably just heard our correspondent, Katie Tur, who grew up there, knows a lot of folks there, and asking the question, what do we do now? Are there any answers?
You know, I think first and foremost, I want to encourage and emphasize to people that this is still an active fire. I met with CAL FIRE this morning. We have containment only at 3%. So it is not safe for people to return to their homes at this time. And I want to make that very clear so that people are not trying to come back when we are still in danger of fires. In addition to that, while you're sitting and holding tight, you know, making sure that you are beginning to have conversations with your insurance company. For those that need help in person with navigating insurance, we are going to be having an insurance workshop with the insurance commissioner right here at Pasadena City College on January 25th and January 26th. That will be free and open to the public. Experts will be there to help guide them. And we're also telling people to begin doing their FEMA application. You will want to go to governmentassistance.gov to start receiving that assistance. That is so critical right now, is that we log into those websites, we begin doing those applications. This is going to be so important for people to get started with those FEMA applications.
I know as a state senator, and you're right in the thick of this right now, so the immediate needs are certainly most on your mind and keeping you busy. But I wonder if you're hopeful about the incoming Trump administration. Will they work to regulate the insurance industry to make sure people in high-risk areas can get coverage? Are you hearing those questions from folks? I did hear one of the folks, our correspondent, interviewed, who said, I don't know if I'll be able to get insurance going forward, so I don't even know if it makes sense to rebuild.
You know, I can't speak to what the incoming Trump administration has in mind in terms of regulating, you know, the insurance industry. I can tell you here in California that those are conversations that, you know, we're having right now. If this is something that the incoming president is interested in partnering in, he will certainly find a partner in me. He will certainly find a partner in California if he is serious about assisting our residents and those who have lost everything as a result of this fire. I will tell you that my constituents are very nervous about what the incoming Trump administration may do, especially given some of the recent executive orders that the Biden administration has signed to provide aid to California. And unfortunately, you know, we have seen that aid be politicized. This is a time period where, you know, these fires have impacted everyone, regardless of party, regardless of gender, of, you know, of income. This fire does not care, and people have lost their homes. And so I really want to emphasize that to this incoming administration, that people need help. And that is what is most important. That is our job as government leaders, is to make sure that we are helping people.
An understandable plea. California State Senator Sasha Renee Perez, I'm glad to hear that you and your family are all well, and I wish you luck going forward. I know you are going to have a lot of work to do with your constituents. Thank you for being on the program.
Yeah, thank you so much.